Okay, so um, I'm using this channel to deal with some things because um, some of the people I know, not all of them, some of them that I interact with somewhat regularly, uh, refuse to accept where I'm coming from. They or refuse to. I don't want to say acknowledge, because by the time that you demand somebody make an acknowledgement, then I'm already no longer coming from the position that I represent. But they refuse to accept uh, where I'm coming from. So that's why I'm lightweight funking, right? Lightweight funking, funk. Um, but people that I remember us from the past and that we came up with, they're gonna say, you know, um, you're lucky to have a sister. She's she knows what's up with what time is. She's cool. And they're not they're I respect that. They don't know all of what is going on to make it impossible, because how can you convince somebody who refuses to accept where you're coming from that they need to desist from spiritual attacks? That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. No, 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 no. It's this, it's that. I need to be offended. Oh, it's all the abuse. I've always been abused. And they're not. Like, my mother shills heavily for Joe Biden. I told her, look, there's all kind of videos of him sniffing little girls and grabbing them by the upper arm, like underneath, behind, from behind, and grabbing their, it's kind of like firm grab on their bicep, which is like a power grab. There's all these pictures of him like petting and like the creepy way that he goes into his little inculcations. Like, he starts inculcating, and like this stuff, like, you don't recognize that as outside of the agenda of mankind on the most generalistic terms. Remove it to normalize this is to remove security level layers of security from the indefensible, and you can agree with me, like, yeah, 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 but he's better than that damn Trump we have now. That this Trump. Holy shit, really? Wow. You know, I always told you, that I've demonstrated holding people accountable, if that's what you want to call it. Then these motherfuckers act like our job is keeping them accountable. You found them honest, and now your job is to maintain their honesty. You found them honest, and now you're keeping them honest. Fuck no, you like to throw your friends under the bus. You're trying to hurry up the process for throwing Donald Trump under the bus. You hold it out all the way till now to to publicize the sweetheart deal that Jeffrey Epstein got, because Trump has a labor what's it, the um labor commission, somebody, because somebody in the Trump administration is cozy with Epstein. Why don't you go on the way, all the way, to say that he's culpable in an activity? Let me know. Let me know what it is, because see, they stopped telling people why they're investigating them, because they're investigating people, not crimes. They're investigating people they want to investigate, and spending our money, because uh um you might be able to suggest that from the details that something might have gone on, or something could have happened. It's horrifying. And I'm gonna fucking start back socking. Not me. Not me. Nobody's afraid of me. They're afraid of the information. So they work with entities that do not negotiate unless, you know, they can become permanent. So without me, they're fucked. And the thing is, in the presence of me, I'm not helping. So they need me, but they need me to isolate. They need me to self-isolate. And they're not able to tell me, like, look, man, like, we are binded by an agreement with a and before it, and it's perfectly possible for it to be an entity, because an entity could be many different things. And quit acting dumb and playing stupid when it's convenient, because an entity could be, yeah, a residue, or a isotope, or an essence, but it can also be funding. When you're not acting in the interest of getting your team together, and this is not for the, like, it's okay that you falter and that you stumble and fall in quicksand, but as long as it appears that you're working to get your team together, if you're trying to get your team together, then I can't hate that. But if it looks like you're not trying to get your team together, then I can offer you the opposite extreme, and is in terms of, like, yeah, that's pretty damn irreprehensible. I'm not gonna. There's no instance, so I'm not gonna say wager, like, what I'm due or anything, because that doesn't even make any sense. But that's where it's at, because, like, even people that I've seen in the past are like, that would be like, we should hang out, or we should kick it, or something. Like, they're trying to work something over on me psychologically to aggregate their own solution. So it's energy that they steal, and they can't keep it. The same way, uh, you, you know, it's like food. You could be food, even though they're not physically eating you, if they can um, dress their pets up as food, and invite them over as friends. Actually didn't come up with that myself. Um, yeah, how it goes is they dress their pets up as food, invite them over as friends, and every time that they get killed, like either buried under a couch cushion, or if you leave them tied up to the garage door, and the husband comes driving around the corner and opens it before he gets near the house and hangs it, or like it, I don't know, any ways that a pet can die, like it just gets a new name and a plane ticket, and it looked exactly the same, and eventually uh, the pet owner will settle for the name Oliver and name the pet Oliver. Like, you know, they have human names and stuff. It's like they keep doing that. Like, because what are you doing for the breed? You know, you're the animal is already so domesticated and independent. It's already so dependent, and then you're genetically engineering them through by incest, because the characters that they want to promote are in that bloodline. Then when they have papers and you can produce papers for a breed, you want to see that a lot of inbreeding, and that's what they buy. So it's not outside of the scope of possible of realm of or the wheelhouse of imagination to suggest that they work with non-negotiable entities that take over their entire life, and they're committed. But they're committed to that entity. Is not that, like, the entities moved in and the commitment was made prior. It was made earlier. They're traumatized, but they're rebelling in the sense of like it's it's like an entity. It's still there, you know. Like, I know that dogs are are dependent, you know, but if somebody um is suggesting that because the dog uh, gives love to the owner, that it doesn't know that you're tapping into its gene pool and manipulating it. You know, he'll lick peanut butter off your nuts. Stop playing stupid. Don't play dumb. I'm not talking to the person who's watching this video. Like, I'm talking to the mentality of the people who favor animals because they don't have the ability to remember that you did something fucked up. But so it's like, it's just I know these people better than the people that are around them now know them, and they know that that I know them better than the people that they are be, what's not it's not, I don't know, behoven hova. Anyways, they swear up and down that because somebody has a Grammy and $1 million, that you feel the same way about them that they do, and want to trust them and listen to them when they say that you should give away your rights, or that this is the most important election since whenever, that, like, if you don't get up and do your responsibility and vote, then you're like a piece of shit. And by the way, we don't care who you vote for. You can vote either way. You just have to get up out there and do it. Stop fucking with me. Well, I already said stop fucking with me. that was in the past. Like, that's where I get to the point where I'll just fucking support the winner and the outcome of an election because people want to participate in elections and they want to vote. Yet, I have to constantly be reminded how terrible Trump is. The reason why you want to you would have let Epstein blend in with the fucking wallpaper and become invisible so he can reemerge to to you know chop up the game with you and tell you the narrative that or just like what the team should do this year that they didn't do last year, and what the team did last year that they should do this year that helped them out. Like the team, yeah, I know sports and everything, but sports is a tool to use against, not they're using them against people that think outside the box, but usually they use the masses to intimidate or dissuade or convince you that to say fuck it, just to give up, because But anyways, the masses are cool. Anyways, like it's and the CIA, they don't have to be slick either. They make hip rap videos now. They make hip cool rap videos. They put the brick in your face. You know, what's that dude that he's a like the battle really must be about the Shekinah, the red heifer, the energy from the east rising in the west, and Sirius B, which Sirius B is in you. You got them we're at this point, and this is the type of like times that we're living in. This is the time that we're alive, where there are making movies, posing to be astronauts and scientists with an interest in getting there to Universe B through the Higgs boson, the Higgs boson, the solar boat, the energy goes through the self-fulfilling the self-fulfilling prophecy is like you can roll a nickel and in there, and it'll spin around for freaking 30 minutes and shit before it gets to the bottom. Comes up on the other side, Universe B, and illuminates or gives the energy to light and illuminate the pharaonic double. That's why there's a state within a state that's a sovereign state, and the state that it's inside of is not sovereign, but it's a member of a collective of states that represents a sovereign state. And then it has its double White House in England, where they have another little area inside of a sovereign state that the rules are all funny and goofy and haywire. Then it's the double White House. It's the reason why the Queen dresses like doll clothes, wears doll shoes and shit. Anyways, you could say it's a conspiracy theory, but offer any evidence to suggest that that's not the case. I know it sounds silly, but just say it ain't so. Because, that's the other thing, is like, they make me dumb because it's for the acquiescence or something. Then you just can't see it. That's why I'm like, when somebody tells you you don't have to interject, then are you gonna let the same person talk over you? You already can't interject. Now you're gonna let the same person talk over you, unless you're under the influence of a chemical or human agent. You know, you have a chromosome that expresses itself as a gene that acts like a plant. We got thermodynamic um, aeronautics and plasma cutters and um, from seed technology, from the context of the tesseract and the firing of information protected in a shell with a shell, and it's a the we in Christendom the cross upside down represents evil, disrespect. It's cocked and loaded with a seed, and it's a phallic. It's a phallic, and why is it stressing me though? Is because no, um, that um, that concept is not lost to anyone. It's not lost to anybody. It's like the fact that um, if you're helping somebody, it's to help them. Then if you're detectable, um, you're trying you. It's like well, you you could suggest from that. You could take from that um, that I'm helping you uh, under the caveat that you there's like it always has to do with an agenda, except they're not telling you the agenda. They're gonna let everybody else that they wanted to speak for that agenda, and they're just gonna wait until you're worn down enough that he'll be like, okay, fuck it, and they want you to say fuck it, but they won't accept that nonsense themselves. They wouldn't, unless it was um, offered to them in the form of a job. If it was given to them in the form of a job. I mean, there's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. Like, you don't want somebody to create jobs. Stop fucking with me. Like, you want to find a job because you need a job to make ends meet. It's about you. It's not because somebody cared enough or thought to create a job that that you might have it, you know. But enough of that. I'm gonna turn to Grumpy or something. I don't know. You can make up any. I don't even know actually. Like